In India's civilizational imagination, two heroes stand taller than most. Rama, the upholder of order, and Krishna, the master of strategy. One ruled an ideal kingdom, Ram Rajya. The other steered a war-ridden society through impossible moral dilemmas, Dharma Rajya.
From Ayodhya to Kurukshetra, from Sita to Draupadi, from Bhakti to Bhagwan, the epics offer us not just myths but models. Models for leadership, ethics, power, and real politics. But can Ram Rajya exist in a messy, polarized, multipolar world? Or is Krishna's dharmic pragmatism the only way forward?
Hi everyone, I'm Sarmistha.
And I'm Rajdeep.
Welcome to our channel Dharma and Freedom, where ancient wisdom meets the modern mind.
Where religion, mythology, spirituality meet geopolitics, culture, self, and society.
Today we explored the topic Ram Rajya versus Dharma Rajya and how these two very different models of rule apply to current geopolitics.
India has always dreamed of the ideal kingdom, and for many, that dream has a name, Ram Rajya. A land where the king is just, the people are happy, and Dharma rules above all else. But is Ram Rajya real? And does it still matter in a 21st century democracy?
Ramayana is the epic of ideals. Maryada Purushottam Ram, the perfect man, the ideal son, king, husband. A tale written for a world that ought to be.
But the Mahabharata? It's about the world that is messy, cruel, complex. A battlefield, not a palace. In Ramayana, good and evil are clearly marked as polarized. Devas are good, Rakshasas are evil, and humans can be both.
In Mahabharata, good and evil are indistinguishable. Manavas, Devas, and Rakshasas fight other Manavas, Devas, and Rakshasas in the battle of Kurukshetra. It is where sometimes villains do noble and honorable things, heroes do evil and monstrous things, and even birds bend the rules.
The Ramayana is a simple linear narrative. Valmiki writes it even before Rama lives it. Destiny etched in verse. But the Mahabharata is a complex, non-linear, swirling storm of time. Past, present, and future all folding into one epic canvas. Vyasa doesn't just write the story, he enters it, lives it, fathers both heroes and villains.
The heroes of both the epics have supernatural births. Rama and his brothers are born from the sacred pot of divine prasad, carrying the same divine essence. They are born on the same day from different queens, yet all revolve like planets around one son, Rama. He is so divine. His brothers gladly live in his shadow, serving him with the devotion of disciples.
The Pandavas too are born of gods, different fathers, even different mothers, yet united so deeply they share not just a kingdom but a queen. But unlike Rama, no one Pandava stands above the rest. Yudhishthira is righteous, Bhima is strong, Arjuna the greatest warrior, Nakula the most handsome, and Sahadeva the most knowledgeable. They argue, they fight, they bleed like real people. And despite being barely related by blood, they love stronger than blood brothers.
On the contrary, the Kaurava brothers are born from the same source like in Ramayana, from a single piece of unborn fetus. And they too revolve around one son, Duryodhana. But while Dharma guides the Ramayana brothers, Adharma fuels the Kauravas.
Rama takes a vow to protect his father's honor and becomes a hero. Bhishma takes a similar vow to never marry and protect the kingdom. But the result? Tragedy, civil war, and fall of a dynasty. Context defines morality.
Rama and his brothers, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughna. Sacrifice for one another. No fight for the throne. True Ram Rajya. But in the Mahabharata, brothers fight brothers for power. Relatives fight each other to the death over inheritance. Pandavas versus Kauravas. Dharma Rajya drenched in blood.
Lakshman and Dussasan were both younger brothers, loyal beyond reason. But Lakshman's loyalty served Dharma. Dussasan's loyalty served Adharma. One becomes a revered hero, the other a reviled thug.
Sita and Draupadi, two pillars of Shakti, both dutiful, devoted, divine. Yet their journeys couldn't be more different. Sita had one husband, Ram. She followed him to exile, lived in purity, and was tested by fire. Draupadi was born out of fire. She had 5 husbands and still faced humiliation. She was dragged, insulted, nearly stripped. Her rage became the seed of war. Sita's single-minded devotion and acceptance make her an epitome for sacrifice and selfless service. While Draupadi, having 5 husbands, foreshadowed today's strong independent woman, slut-shamed for her free-thinking mind. While Sita needs to be rescued by her husband, it is Draupadi who rescues not just herself, but her husbands from the dice hall of destruction.
Even the villains, for whatever supernatural reason of curse, blessing, or divine intervention, Ravana never touched Sita despite kidnapping her.
While the villains of the Mahabharata, Duryodhan, Dusasan, Karna, Jayadratha, Kichak, all violated Draupadi, physically, verbally, morally.
What about the divine savior of each epic? In both, it is not the main protagonist, but his closest aid, an ally with supernatural power and intelligence. This is modeled on the archetype of Vishnu in the Vedas, who is an assistant to Indra, never coming to the forefront, but pulling the strings from behind the curtains.
But while in Ramayana, this ally is a Bhakt in form of Mahabali Hanuman, in Mahabharata, this ally becomes God himself, Lord Krishna. This mirrors the rise of Vishnu from a secondary god in the Vedas to supreme godhead in the Puranas.
At times it seems Vyasa, the poet of Mahabharata, wrote it as a counter to Valmiki's Ramayana, to test Ramayana's idealism in a real world. And that is why in Ramayana, Rama is a hero, a warrior, a ruler who leads through example, while in the Mahabharata, Krishna is a guide, a charioteer, a kingmaker who leads through counsel. Rama never aims to create Ram Rajya. It is automatically established by him sitting on the throne, while Krishna actively strives to establish Dharma Rajya through blood, core, and strategy.
And yet, Rama in Ramayana is depicted as a man, an ideal man, while Krishna is a literal god.
One is Maryada, dignity of roles. The other is Leela, wisdom of bending them.
The critique of Ram Rajya's idealism had begun long ago itself through the most controversial episode of Sita's exile by Ram to allay the small talks of a few washermen, or the Shambhuka episode where Ram kills a Shudra ascetic for performing penance.
But the twist is, these stories do not appear in the core Valmiki Ramayana, but in the Uttarakanda, considered by all scholars to be a later interpolation. These weren't Valmiki's verses, but political insertions.
And yet, colonial scholars and post-colonial left liberals fixated on these parts to paint Ram Rajya as regressive. The result? A distorted moral narrative weaponized for ideological ends.
Gandhi invoked Ram Rajya not as a theocracy, but as ethical governance. Yet, his assassin saw it as hypocrisy.
Today, Narendra Modi references Ram Rajya as cultural ethos, development, dignity, devotion.
But the world we live in, Is it more Mahabharata than Ramayana?
Vladimir Putin plays Krishna's deceptive diplomacy. So did Churchill. Trump, the Duryodhana of disruption. Xi Jinping, a Kautilyan strategist in Krishna's guard.
Even India's foreign policy walks Krishna's tightrope. Friend to Russia and USA, arms from Israel, trade with Iran, and no tolerance for Pakistan.
Brexit, Ukraine war, Taiwan. Real politics is alive. Dharma is hard. Clarity is harder.
The Ramayana ends like a fairy tale. Rama wins, his fallen warriors are brought back to life. Virtue is rewarded, evil punished, simple. War has no consequence for the virtuous.
But the Mahabharata? No one really wins. The Kauravas lie dead, the Pandavas live, but hollowed by loss. Their children, their friends, their blood, all gone. Victory and defeat blur into the same color. Tragedy.
And that's the danger of a half-understood Ramayana. It sits in homes across India, shaping values of obedience, especially for women and children. But its spiritual essence often gets lost in blind reverence. Rama, the merciful king, has become a banner for rage.
And the Mahabharata? Often hidden away. Too dark, too complex, too questioning. And that's what makes it real and essential. In an India searching for its soul, Mahabharata's message of Swadharma, the personal truth, is a mantra for the future.
Ram Rajya inspires, but it assumes virtue in all, king and people alike. It's an ideal, not a blueprint. Valmiki's version says the kingdom prospers because the people follow dharma. Maybe we have been looking at it all wrong, expecting rulers to be Rama while ignoring our own duties. Ram Rajya is not a mere tool of political propaganda which can be achieved by changing the people in power. The change has to come within, in morality, and definitely it cannot be achieved through violence.
Krishna's way accepts darkness within us and the system. He defeats Bhishma by using Shikhandi as a shield, the one person Bhishma wouldn't fight. He makes Dharma Rajya Yudhishthir lie to get Dronacharya killed. He makes Arjuna kill Karna while he is compromised. He makes Bhima kill Duryodhan, bending the rules of warfare. He bends the world to preserve Dharma.
Should leaders be like Rama, principled, aloof, or Krishna, strategic, involved?
The answer may lie not in choosing, but in knowing when to be whom. Ram Rajya may guide the dream. Dharma Rajya navigates the dirt.
So here we are, between Ayodhya and Kurukshetra, between Bhakti and Shakti, between ideal and real.
The epics don't ask us just to worship our heroes. They ask us to think and choose consciously and courageously.
Ram Rajya should be established inside the heart, while Dharma Rajya in the world outside. This is not mythology, this is the mirror.
Because real power isn't just about choosing between right and wrong. It's about seeing the right clearly, even in the middle of wrong. That's what Ram showed us. That's what Krishna taught us.
Dharma is not obedience, it is awakening.
And freedom is not escape, it is truth.
We will continue such discussions with deeper insights connecting mythology and modernity. So keep watching our channel, Dharma and Freedom.
Like, share, subscribe, and encourage us to make more such videos for you.